I was asked by my boss to introduce my mother to our company, which was short on staff. This old lady is supposed to help us. Is she really going to be useful? Don't make me laugh. My boss sneered. I can put up with insults aimed at me, but not when they're about my mother. Then the CEO suddenly showed up and stood still in front of my mom. At that moment, the unexpected relationship between the CEO and my mother was revealed. Thanks for the breakfast. I'm off now. Lately, I haven't had much of an appetite in the mornings. It's been days since I could properly eat the breakfast Mom prepared for me. Aren't you going to eat more? Breakfast is important, you know. It gets your brain and body warmed up for the day. If you don't eat well in the morning, the rest of the day. Sorry, Mom. I'm running late. We'll talk later. Bye. Hey, wait a minute. Be careful out there. Mom tends to talk a lot, and more than anything, she's sharp. So I've been avoiding conversations with her lately. I just don't want her to worry. Well, here we go again. Another depressing day begins. I just want to skip work, but I guess I have to go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Revenge taken asterisk. Today I'm going to share a new story with you. Let's get started. I'm Tom Moore, a 25-year-old office worker. It's only my second year as a company employee, but I've been in the workforce for a while. After graduating high school, I worked at construction sites but quit because I didn't want to work in the rain. I left traffic control because the summer heat was unbearable and got fired from a corner shop for falling asleep at the register during the night shift. Basically, I drifted around without holding a steady job. I wasn't a bad student, so I could have gone to college with my grades. But I was too poor to go, or rather, I chose not to go. We've saved enough for you to go to college, Tom. You should go, and there are always student loans you can use. Mom told me. I didn't want to burden her any more than I already had. Plus, back then, I thought that even if it was a student loan, it was still debt. I'd never want to live a life crushed by debt again. I didn't want to end up like Dad. The word debt made me overly sensitive. Mom spent her life growing older while being chased by the debts Dad left behind. All my friends' moms went out for lunch, took trips, and did fun things together, but Mom never had time for that. She just worked, came home to take care of me, and repeated that over and over. Your dad was such a kind man, Tom. He became a co-signer for a friend's loan. He just couldn't say no when someone asked for help. He was too nice, Mom used to say. But I couldn't see it that way. Didn't Dad just want to look good in front of his friends? Because of that, we ended up living like this, in poverty. Too nice? What about us? Did he think about us while leaving us to live like this? Was he being kind to me by doing that? I resented my dad even after he passed away. That's why I got frustrated with Mom, too, for defending him while she worked non-stop with no time to rest. No matter how hard she worked, it all went to paying off Dad's debts. She couldn't buy anything she liked, not even one thing. And yet Dad was supposed to be kind? What the hell is that supposed to mean, Mom? Why? Why couldn't you complain with me? After I graduated high school, I barely came home. That was my life until a few years ago when Mom got sick and had to be hospitalized. Even after she was discharged, she couldn't go back to work right away, so she quit her long-time job before retirement to avoid causing trouble for her company. By that time, she had already finished paying off Dad's debts. How did she manage to pay it off so quickly? That's why she broke down after she quit. Even when her health improved and her strength returned, she just wasn't the same. It was the first time in my life I'd seen her without a job. I wanted to cheer her up, so I decided to turn my life around. I started applying to all kinds of companies, taking job interviews, and somehow managed to land a position at my current company. You took quite the detour, but Tom, you finally settled down. On the day of my induction ceremony, Mom smiled happily. She must have been so proud of me because, little by little, she started to regain her energy. As Mom regained her energy, so did her nagging, but that was fine by me. A nagging mom felt more natural. However, this choice of mine turned out to be the worst. Maury, manager, Will called me. Oh dear, I sighed inwardly. Whenever he dragged out the Maury, it was usually followed by some lousy task. Yes, what is it? For lunch, I want a pork cutlet sandwich from Tommy's. Go get it. Sorry, Tommy's has huge lines before noon. Who knows when I'll be back? Then go early and get in line. You don't have much else to do as a high school grad, right? Be back by noon. There's no point in arguing. At least it's an excuse to get out of the office. Might as well take the task gladly. Yes, I understand. Are you sure? I have to go for an errand, so I could grab it for you? My colleague Mike kindly offered, concerned. Mike, who took a gap year but graduated from college, has a real job. I didn't want to burden him with my menial tasks. You've got proper work to do as a college grad. Don't waste your time dealing with a high school grad like him. Manager Will chimed in, overhearing our conversation. Thanks, but I'm fine, I replied quietly. Just before noon, I headed to Tommy's. As expected, there was a line. I started worrying if I'd make it back by lunch, but surprisingly, the line moved quickly. After about 30 minutes of waiting, I got the pork cutlet sandwich and returned to the office at 11:45, right on time. Isn't it, manager? I brought your pork cutlet sandwich. He glanced at the clock. I had a bad feeling. You're too early. What? Yeah, too early. I like my food fresh. There's still 15 minutes until noon. It'll get cold, won't it? But you told me to have it back by 12. At least bring it 5 minutes before. If you were told to have lunch ready by noon, would you prepare it at 10 o'clock? What if it was noodles? Would you make your boss eat soggy, cold noodles? Then you'd say, but you told me to be ready by noon as an excuse. It's 11:45 and it's not noodles. Man, high school grads can't even think on their feet. I'm sorry. Whatever. I'll eat it early. Go make me some tea. Manager Will grumbled. I'll make it. Someone told Tom to do it. If you make a female employee brew tea nowadays, they'll just start yelling about gender discrimination later. Manager Will's irritation spilled over onto Margaret as well. I silently gestured to her, mouthing sorry. Margaret raised her right hand slightly and gestured back. It's okay, more. Not again. Yes, what is it? The newspaper. Yes, the newspaper. Do you need it for something? Or is it just another tool for us high school grads to use for doodling? You're supposed to read the newspaper, you know. That's what it's for, right? Get me the business paper. I forgot to buy one this morning. Go grab it at the corner shop. I'm on it, but since it's already this late, I apologize in advance if it's sold out. Listen, high school grad, when your boss asks for something, it's non-negotiable. What do you do if the corner shop near you doesn't have what I asked for? You go to another one, right? And if they don't have it, go to yet another one. Exactly. Now get going. Don't come back until you find it. As expected, the nearby shop was sold out. With no choice, I headed to another shop. They didn't have it either. Worried that I'd be criticized for taking too long, I started running from store to store. Got it? Finally, at the fifth shop, I found the newspaper. I quickly handed over the $2 I had in my hand, grabbed the paper, and rushed back to the office, breathless. You're late. Sorry. Like I thought, it was sold out everywhere. I only found it at the fifth store. I placed the newspaper on Manager Will's desk, but he didn't even take it. You're so inefficient. You're useless at everything. I don't feel like reading it anymore. Just throw it away or maybe use it as a mat for your doodles. He said that and tossed the newspaper back at me. I'm not reading it, so I'm not paying for it. He made me run around to 5 different stores, and now he wouldn't even pay the $2 for it. What kind of boss is this? I wasn't even angry, just dumbfounded. With tired steps, I headed home. It would be fine if I was tired from real work, but what I'm doing doesn't even feel like work. Welcome back. I'm home. You look exhausted. You're working hard, aren't you? I'm getting dinner ready, so why don't you take a bath first? I already ate. I'll just take a bath and go to bed. I lied. I went straight to bed without eating dinner or even enjoying the bath. In the darkness, the frustration just welled up inside me. I couldn't fall asleep easily, and I probably only drifted off after midnight. Why do the things you don't want always come so quickly? For me right now, that's the question. Morning came in no time at all. I felt heavy. I have to go early today, so I'm heading out now. Already? Wait just a minute. Mom hurried into the kitchen. Eat this when you get the chance. She handed me a bag with some sandwiches inside. Feeling awkward about facing her, I left the house early, but I didn't want to go to work early either, so I killed time at the park. I didn't feel like eating, but I forced down one of the sandwiches with some tea I'd bought from a vending machine. I better go. I won't make it in time if I don't. I stood up from the bench, lifting my heavy body to start walking. Hey, Tom. Good morning. Mike walked by and greeted me. Morning. What's up? You don't look too happy. Well, wouldn't you feel the same? I have to deal with that manager again today. I get it, but it's not just you who dislikes him. We can't say anything since he's our boss, but everyone thinks the way he treats you is messed up. Thanks. That was reassuring. I'm glad Mike was with me today. It made the walk to work a bit easier. Maury, I called first thing in the morning. Yes. Look up for a second. I obediently looked up. What do you see? I only see the fluorescent lights and the air conditioning vent. Don't you notice anything? It looks the same as usual. Look closely at the air vent. I've been sneezing nonstop since yesterday. The air vent was a bit dusty. I have allergies, you know. I'm more sensitive than you high school grads. If there's dust above you, shouldn't you clean it up? I'm heading out, so make sure it's spotless by the time I'm back. Manager Will said this, blew his nose, and left the office. I grabbed a stepladder and started cleaning the air vent. I'll rinse the rag for you. Hand it over. Margaret kindly offered. Thanks, that's a big help. You must be exhausted. Let me take over. I'm good, thanks. I'm almost done. I'll just knock it out. Yeah, go ahead and finish it off, Mike. Mike couldn't resist a little mischief, shaking the ladder like a grade school prankster in the afternoon. Manager Wool came back. He glanced up at the vet, said nothing, and sat down at his desk. Nor was he happy with the cleaning. Throw this away. He handed me a trash can full of tissues he'd used to blow his nose. If he noticed the dust, he could have just cleaned it himself. Margaret fumed on the way home. It wasn't even that dirty. He probably just wanted to boss me around. Can you believe it? He made you clean and didn't even say thank you. When he got back, him thanking me would actually creep me out more. True, but still. And making you throw away a whole pile of his used tissues. That's disgusting. It makes me so mad. Hey, don't get too angry or you'll get hungry. The place is probably wide open by now. Let's grab some beef bowls, extra sauce, large size and loaded with onions. Sorry, I think Mom's already made dinner. If I eat out and then go home, she'll get on my case. I lied. The truth is, I just didn't have an appetite. I was jealous of Margaret being able to scarf down a beef bowl, especially a large one. Too bad, but yeah, you've got to eat your mom's cooking. See you tomorrow. We parted ways in front of the beef bowl chain restaurant. It's thanks to Mike and Margaret that I can get by. Their presence means the world to me, and I'm so grateful for them. I don't want to disappoint my mom, who is so happy to see me working. I don't want her to go back to the way she was when she had no energy. With their support and my desire to not let my mom down, I managed to hang in there every day. One day, the manager called me without dragging out the end of my name. That's unusual. What does he want? I braced myself. Do you know anyone you can introduce to us? Someone. The manufacturing department is getting busy, and we're short on staff. Even a high school grad is fine. Just bring someone if you know anyone. Got it. Give me a little time. I'll think about it. If I can find someone, I'll introduce them. Well, even if he or she is a high school grad, make sure they're at least better than you. We've got enough people for grunt work with you around. He never misses a chance to throw in a jab, does he? I thought about it on the train ride home. They need staff who can hit the ground running. Is there anyone? Most of the guys I used to hang out with back when I was drifting around have jobs now. Wait, I do know someone. My mom, a real powerhouse. She's the one who paid off the tens of thousands of dollars of debt Dad left behind, all while raising me. She only retired because she didn't want to burden her company when she got sick. But now that I'm settled, she's back to full health and bursting with energy, with too much time on her hands. I'll ask her when I get home. Mom, do you want to work at my company? They're short on staff. I'll do it. That was fast. She really must be itching for something to do. Once it was decided, things moved quickly. The next day, I told Manager Wool I'd be bringing someone in. The day after that, I took my mom to the office. This is quite an impressive company. She admired the building. Shall we take a picture to commemorate this? She asked, pulling out her phone. Please, no. That's so embarrassing. What are you embarrassed about? I'm not embarrassed. At that moment, Manager Wool showed up. Good morning. He didn't say anything, just gave a suspicious look at my mom standing beside me. This is the person I mentioned yesterday. It's my mom. Mom, this is Manager Wool. My son, Tom, has always been in your care, Mom said with a big smile. Manager Wool eyed her coldly, then suddenly burst into laughter. This old lady? Did you even listen to me? I said we're short on staff and needed help, and you bring this old lady. She's not going to be any use. Actually, my mom is only 58. She's strong, healthy, smart, and I think she can still be a great asset. An asset? This old lady? Don't make me laugh, he yelled, causing passing employees to stop and stare. I didn't want to make a scene, but I couldn't stand him insulting my mom. Insults toward me I could handle, but not toward her. With all due respect, manager. Just as I was about to defend her, Mom stopped me. Tom, that's enough. Let's go. I don't want to work under someone like him. You must have been struggling too, right? You acted strong, but I know it's been hard. As sharp as ever, Mom had seen right through me. She straightened up, arms crossed, and glared at the man she had just smiled at moments ago. Then she let him have it. You listen here. I don't care if you're a manager or a college grad or whatever you are. As a human being, you're at rock bottom. No, below that. From down there, you can't see anything, and you don't even realize it. You just keep crawling in the dirt for the rest of your life. Mom, don't you think that's a bit much? It's not enough, actually, but it's a waste of time, so let's go. Come on, Tom, you don't need to stick around at a company that lets a stupid manager like this run the show. But I mean, just as Mom grabbed my hand to leave, both of us startled when we heard more. We turned around. Is that you, Wilson? Mom exclaimed in surprise. I was just as shocked. What are you doing here? That's exactly what I was going to say, I whispered to my mom. Mom, that's the CEO. Excuse me, he's the CEO of this company. Do you know him? Ignoring my question, Mom turned to look at Wilson. Wilson, you're the CEO here. That's right. Wow, I had no idea. You've really made it, running such a big company. Just as she was looking up at the office building, Wilson suddenly stood still. Miss Moore, I'm so sorry. One of our employees has been incredibly rude. Wilson, the CEO, was apologizing to my mom on his knees. Yes, that was quite rude. Though, to be fair, some of it was true, Mom said with a smirk. Not at all. I could only build this company thanks to everything I learned from you, Miss Moore. That's why I've been asking you for so long to join us. It wasn't because of me. You were always very talented, but I didn't realize you'd built such a big company. Now, get up. This is embarrassing. Everyone's watching. The CEO was on his knees apologizing to a woman, which drew a crowd of curious employees. Among them stood Manager Wool, frozen in shock. Wilson, the CEO, stood up and turned to Manager Wool. Don't just stand there. Apologize. This woman is important to both me and this company. Manager Wool staggered forward. No, I don't need an apology from you. Mom cut him off firmly. I'm terribly sorry, Manager Wool said. I said I don't need it, she snapped. I could see Manager Wool trembling in fear. I still couldn't grasp the situation. What's going on? I asked. Wilson, the CEO, answered me. Your mother was my boss. She was brilliant, and I learned so much from her. Thanks to her, I was able to start this company. She's the person I owe everything to. I see, I said. That's why I've been asking her to join us as a director, but she never agreed. I can't believe she's helping with our staffing shortage. Did she only agree because of her son's request? Wilson, the CEO, asked with a smile. That's not it, Mom said. I turned you down, but honestly, I've just been bored. When I heard you were short on staff, I thought I might as well help out. That's so like you, Miss Moore. But I had no idea your son worked for my company. Worked. Past tense. I just quit. I'm glad I didn't take the director position. Seems like I was right about this being a terrible company. I heard everything. I'm truly sorry. As CEO, this is entirely my responsibility. But please give me another chance. Ending it like this would be far too humiliating for me. I beg you, Wilson pleaded again. Mom wasn't satisfied and left, but I continued with my day as usual. Well, not exactly usual. There hadn't been a single day without Manager Wool causing trouble. That day he didn't look me in the eye once. As I was leaving, Wilson made a point of coming over to ask me to bring my mom back the next day. When I told her, she laughed and said, Wilson's always been quick to act. That's his strength, but he's also a bit persistent. The next day, I brought her back to the office. Mom had a conversation with the CEO, then had lunch with him before heading home. That day, Manager Wool didn't bother me at all. It was a peaceful day, and I got home early. I'm back. Welcome home. You're early. Ever since that day, I haven't been stuck with any weird tasks. By the way, what did the CEO want? He asked me to become a director at one of the affiliated companies. What? He still hasn't given up? Apparently not. So, what did you say? Oh, but you don't have to decide right away. You can take your time. I can support us with my income. You've worked so hard all these years, now it's my turn. I already answered. Huh, what did you say? I'm doing it. So fast. That's just like her. She's always quick to make decisions. Mom, you just can't stay still without working, can you? That's for sure. By the very next day, she had already started her new job as a director in my department. Manager Wool was saying his goodbyes due to a sudden transfer. He was being sent to one of the affiliated companies. As usual, he didn't make any eye contact with me. Well, even though I'm at an affiliated company, I'm still a manager. So I'll be checking in to make sure you're all doing your jobs. He was sent off with a half-hearted round of dry applause. Wait, isn't the affiliated company he's going to my mom's? Is Mom going to be okay? Yeah, she'll be fine. Is Manager Wool going to be okay? Doesn't seem like it. CEO Wilson assigned him to work under my mom. There was definitely a reason behind it. Will, Come here for a moment. Yes, what is it? Do you really think this is something we can send to the head office? Oh, well, this was Smith's work. Your job is to oversee your team's work. Take responsibility for it properly. Yes, ma'am. Mom must be strict when she's working. Rumors started going around that the once arrogant manager Wool was becoming more and more subdued. I heard the manager is really struggling. I'm whipping him into shape from scratch. There's a lot to fix, so it's quite satisfying, Mom said with a sly smile. Only my mom could be that scary. Thanks to Manager Wool's transfer, I can finally do my job without any hassle. Since I've always liked my work, I've started to produce results, and I'm even up for a promotion soon. I'm Southwest today, so it's going to be a quick lunch at my desk with some bread. Same here. Want me to pick something up for you? Yes, please, and get some chocolate too. Got it? Hey, grab something for me too. You too are. Okay, yeah, I'll make the coffee. Thanks. All right, I'm off. Whether you're a high school or college grad, it doesn't matter here. I'm surrounded by great people, and I'm enjoying my work. I wonder if Dad had colleagues like this. But no matter what, I'll never agree to be someone's co-signer. Dad was just too kind. That's what I was thinking as I realized something. At some point, I started saying the same things as Mom.